All right, always a pleasure to talk to my next guest, Adrian Yanez, who picked up a big win over Gustavo Lopez on March the 20th and will now face Randy Costa on July the 24th. Adrian, how are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Especially now that we got that fight book, man. I know a lot of people been hammering about it, so I'm just glad that we're UFC was able to make it happen, and we're good to go, ready to fight.
Yes, sir. And as I was saying before we went live, man, this is a fight that, especially the hardcores, they're really excited about this one. Both you and Randy come forward and just get after it. So this is going to be a really exciting matchup. Tell me, how did this all come about? And when did you actually find out before it was announced that you were going to be facing him?
And so, like the whole fight, the way it came about, like MMA Twitter kind of went crazy and started throwing after the fight. Like everybody started throwing matchup names to me, and everybody's like, well, of course, I recalled out Nathan. I called out that dude Davy Grant, I think, or Gravy. Oh, I might be putting his name backwards or whatever, but he knocked out Jonathan Martinez, but good knockout and everything. And then also everybody was telling me like I need to fight Randy Costa, and I was like, all right, cool, that guy too, anybody. And Randy saw it and was like, he was like, "Oh man, I love your performance." And someone tweeted at him saying something along the lines of like, "Yeah, don't be scared to fight." He's like, "Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna like I might like this guy, but I'll still fight him." And I was like, yeah, I love it. I love that type of energy. I love that type of I absolutely love that energy because I'm the same way. I can still like somebody but still punch him in the face. So to me, like it was cool. And then out of all the three that I called out, Randy was the one like guy that who signed the name on the signed his name on the contract. And as much as I wanted that Nathan fight, this fight to me seems a lot more intriguing, a lot more fun in my eyes, and it's just gonna be a banger. And like before like it was announced on MMA Junkie and all that, like it was like we had already signed the fight for a while already. It was like I think it was like about a couple weeks to May, a couple weeks already. Like it's already been a couple weeks. Everybody's asking me when's the fight, and then everybody was like saying either me or Randy was scared, and I'm just like, we're neither scared. We've already signed the contract. Y'all just don't know yet. But we were trying to get it pushed to UFC 262, but with no success. So right now we're fighting in July 24th. So we've been knowing for a couple for maybe 2 to 4 weeks, maybe. We've been in talks of fighting for like yeah, like right after the fight. I came back home and I started talking to my manager, and he's like, let's get this set up for 262 and let's try to see what we can do. And pretty much like that didn't happen, so we ended up going to July 24th.
Yeah, man, July 24th seems like a whole lifetime from now. It just seems so far away. Are you happy that you have that much time to prepare, or are you really hoping that this fight was going to take place sooner?
I was kind of hoping early July, like early July would have been nice. Like July 10th would have been a great date. But also I had a bit of plans to kind of like a little bit take a little bit of a break because like the Gustavo Lopez fight was pretty much like I've been knowing about that fight since November. So I was in training camp since November all the way up until the fight day. So I was like, man, I've been busting my ass and everything like that. Like if I don't get on May 15th, it's a 262. I was like, I'm gonna take a couple weeks off and just kind of relax, train for fun instead of going back into another hard camp. But uh, I still been like, even though I didn't take my own advice, I still been in full camp just in case, somebody falls off a 262 and me and Randy can go fight. But honestly, it's a double-edged sword, because I do want to fight like sooner rather than later, which to me would be like I would rather fight sooner rather than later. But uh, we just get that much more time to train and prepare, and then whenever we go in there, it's like instead of us being gassed by the first round, we're gonna go all 3 rounds, and it's gonna be a jam-packed bantamweight like throwdown, man. It's gonna be fun. We're not gonna get tired. We're gonna go in there and try to put each other lights out for all 3 rounds, and I think it's gonna be fun. I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking too, because when you mentioned 262, that is right around the corner. And the fact that they booked you guys out so long, it makes me feel like they want your cardio to be on point so you guys can just get in there and put on a show. Maybe win 50K, get fight of the night.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Especially like that's what made me so excited about this because I was like, man, I was like another chance to get another 50K. I was like, man, I want performance bonuses. I don't necessarily want to fight of the night, but this guy right here, he's showing it like he's gonna make it a fight of the night. So it's gonna be fun for me. Another 50K. I want to get the streak for most bonuses like consecutive in a row. That's the other thing I'm looking forward to because man, I'm like, all right, I got one over Vic. I got the one on my debut, and then one on my second UFC fight. Get one on my third. Get one on my third, and then try to get one on my fourth. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going for. I'm going for bonus city, man. I think that'd be great. First contract, first all of them. Performance bonuses, and I think that would be amazing in my eyes. Especially like going out there and being able to perform, taking that money and investing it. Oh yeah, man, that'd be great.
Yeah, well, congratulations on all your successes inside the cage and winning those bonus checks. That is really fantastic for you. You know, the UFC now, you're able to buy stocks in the company. It's happened just recently. Is that something that maybe you're thinking about doing? Because it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Oh yeah, man, I'm already partial owner already, man. I'm- man, yeah, already like even though it's a small amount of stocks, I bought five stocks in the Endeavor. So I'm like, hey, I'm already partial owner. I saw Bilal Muhammad tweeted out saying something like, now that I'm partial owner, I want Francis Ngannou versus Chase Hooper. Let's make this happen. I started laughing because I was like, man, I just bought stocks too. Do I get that type of say? Like, what's going on? But as of right now, I'm probably gonna buy more. I've already seen the percentage increase on it, so it's looking like it's gonna go up. It's only looking like it's gonna get better. So I think if you're smart, especially with how it all works, man, I think you just like, especially at the low price right now, I believe with the right with the right people behind it, it can definitely get up to $100 worth of stock if you get on it early, man. Like just like how Disney was at one point, every stock was that low. Like man, Tesla before it jumped up to 700, like they even cut the stock in half. Like they're like, yeah, we're gonna divide this out and yeah, I'm losing. I don't have the right terminology, but they cut it in half. They were easily at 1400, but then they had to cut. They fractioned it out. So to me, it's like get on it before it jumps up higher because man, the UFC stock and the way how everything's going, man, like especially through this pandemic, and how they treated everything and like how they were the only sport that was really going on predominantly during the pandemic. I think it's only gonna shoot up from here, and it's only boosted up their popularity.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm in agreement with you 100%. Let's talk about that round three win over Gustavo Lopez, again, March the 20th. Tell me, was there anything in that fight leading up to before you got the finish that surprised you, or did you feel like you really went in there and kind of executed your game plan and the result is what you expected?
Man, I expected a lot more wrestling, if I'm being quite honest. Like I expected him to be shooting in a lot more. Uh, like I was expecting a different type of a fight. But the way it panned out, I think I just made it more difficult for him to time his shot. Because I was throwing a whole bunch of feints, I was giving him a whole bunch of looks. So and also I was kind of splitting his timing. Like every single time he would throw something, I would throw something in between, and just kind of just keep him guessing. And he just wasn't able to get like a good read on me. Every time he thought he had a read on me, I switched it up and did something else. And I think I executed my game plan really, really well, but I was honestly expecting like him to kind of shoot in a lot more. I did a lot of wrestling for this fight because I was like I did a lot of defensive jiu-jitsu, a lot of defensive wrestling for this fight because I was like, man, he's talking about trying to drown me and put me in deep water. He's trying to drown me. So I was like, all right, just if that's the way he's thinking, I know he wants to take me down. He wants to submit me, or he's gonna try to wear me out, try to Khabib me for all three rounds, and that's what I was ready for. I was excited because man, like I was really ready to show off my wrestling, my jiu-jitsu, and everything, but it ended up just being a striking battle, and I made it super difficult. And the knockout pretty much was just as picture perfect as it can be, man. He literally, I drew that, drew that, because I made him try to counter. I pulled the counter from him, so I threw the light jab to get him to commit on a combination, and pretty much countered his counter, and that's like picture perfect, right on the chin, dropped him, knocked him out, and it was picture perfect.
Yeah, man, it was a signature win. And you've been a guy that's really been building momentum each and every fight. But do you feel like this win over Gustavo was kind of like your coming out party to the rest of the division?
Oh, absolutely. I really do believe that because a guy fighting tomorrow or this weekend on Reyes versus forget that, I'm not even gonna try to attempt to say his name. Yeah, there we go. There we go. But Marab couldn't finish him, and he went 3 rounds with Gustavo, who was on short notice. I had a full 4 months. This guy had a full 4 months to prepare for me, and I finished him in the third, and I pretty much made it easier than what Marab did. This guy was getting put in bad positions. And myself, I made it look really, really easy, and on a full training camp. And he made like. And then Gustavo's next fight, he goes out there and submits Anthony Burchak, who, was on a I think 5 to 7 fight win streak at that time. So it really solidified me. I feel like it solidified me in the division, especially with for me, I feel like this win was way more important than my debut win, because my debut, I fought Victor Rodriguez, who say what you want about him, but he was a short notice replacement. And he might be tough as nails, but at the same time, he's still short notice replacement. You really don't get the full test of who really that guy is. You're coming in, both debuting. He took it on short notice, So getting a guy who was already in there twice, went 3 rounds with the guy who's in the top 15, and then finishing a guy who was on a win streak and is a notable name at that. So to me, it just solidified my position in the bantamweight division.
Yeah, 100%, man. And again, congrats on the win. How did you celebrate afterwards? Did you get a chance to go out and do anything?
Oh no, man! So pretty much my manager, they always give me these crumble cookies, at weigh-ins. After the weigh-ins, they send it with me and everything. And I was super excited, super happy, but I didn't eat it after we weighed in. I waited till after the fight. That's it's been my celebration meal for the past 3 fights already. So that's one thing that I did. But once that happened, we had an early flight, came back to Houston, and man, just pretty much just went to my favorite Mexican restaurant that we've been going to for so many years, Taqueria Mexico, and pretty much just ate, grubbed, and just had I got fat.
Well, it sounds good, man. I love Mexican food, so I would have been right there with you, devouring all the food myself, man. Talk about what life has been for you since, now that you're back home. Has it just been kind of business as usual, just doing your day-to-day thing?
Yeah, I've been consistently training and just doing the same thing, getting better here and there, getting to work on a little bit more on technique here and there, and honestly, it's just been more training for fun. I didn't have anything for I didn't have anything to train for. I don't have anything to train for, but I'm still staying in shape just in case UFC 262 comes into play. But as from what it looks like, that's not happening, and it kind of makes me sad. But I've been training for fun, and honestly, it's not I'm not training with a purpose. I'm training for to learn. And it's been a lot more fun, a lot super stress free, just going out there and just being able to train, and trying to get into investment for my future as well. Learning, trying to actually bought a couple books so I can read, but I'm not the I'm one of those guys that I always hated reading growing up. So right now it's been a task just for me to push myself to read. So I'm trying to read a little bit more, trying to get more into investing, man. I'm trying to follow the Ala Quinta, James Krause method of, investing the money that you make so you don't have to work for the rest of your life. So that's one thing that I'm trying to do, because I know for myself, I'm not a guy who's going to be able to go to a regular job and work. So I might as well try to invest the money that I'm making now so I don't have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Smart man, getting after it now. I'm sure you watched UFC 261. What's your takeaway from that? I mean, a lot of storylines, but what really stands out to you?
Holy crap, man. Honestly, Honestly, all fights on that like the main card, the whole card was just absolutely amazing. Like I that made me like I love the Apex and I love fighting at the Apex, and I would always want to fight with no crowd just because like the aura of that moment is pretty cool. It's pretty nice, and like it's a zenful moment for me. But also whenever I saw the whole crowd and the Florida crowd just going nuts and going crazy at all those moments and all those crazy moments during those fights, I was jumping up for joy saying, man, I'm gonna get to have that moment. I'm gonna get to have that moment. So the whole card was great, but that main pay-per-view card had me going nuts, man. Like that, I didn't expect that from Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith looked really refined and refreshed, and man, was super technical. I was not expecting that from him, because his last couple outings, he wasn't like, it didn't look like an Anthony Smith. And then this one, you're just like, Anthony Smith looked just freaking like a beast, man. Going out there, snapping his jab, going out there and just like looking really nice and loose. And man, he put it on Jimmy Crute, man. And I put my bet on Anthony Smith, but I was afraid because I was like, man, Jimmy Crute's a beast. And the way that fight ended, a little weird, but at the same time, it was like, I don't think it was gonna go any other way after that first round. But man, then that Chris Weidman, oh man, I was literally like whenever I saw him throw the kick, and I like, it was a hard kick. He loaded up on that kick, and I was like, man, that guy's definitely been kicking the bag. He's been doing something. He's been training in Thailand or something. And then all of a sudden, as soon as you see that kick wind back and he steps on it, my face instantly went to my face, and I was just, oh man. I was stuck with my hands on my face for like about 10 minutes. I couldn't believe it whatsoever.
Crazy to me that happened is the same thing happened to Anderson Silva with Chris Weidman 7 years ago, and now it happens to Weidman. I mean, it blew my mind that same injury took place. It was freaky.
Oh man, it was nuts, man. I couldn't wrap my head around it for a second. I was just going soon as I that Anthony Smith fight, it kind of drew me into this place of like, this is one of those nights where you're just gonna be like, you're just gonna be surprised the whole entire time. And that next fight proved it. And then also that next fight, the 125 belt, Valentina Shevchenko and Jessica Andrade, I didn't know that Jessica Andrade was gonna be out muscled in certain positions and just get dominated like she did. And I was just like that surprised me too, because I was like, man, I thought it was gonna be a little bit of a closer fight, but I thought Shevchenko was gonna get the 5-round decision. But she goes out there and stops like a really tough opponent in Jessica Andrade. And then that fight with Rose and Wei Lee, oh my goodness, I didn't think that would happen. Like, I honestly didn't think that would happen. I saw that I put money on Rose, just because she was at a plus 200, and I was like, no, like, this fight's a lot closer than what people think. Those odds, I like those odds. She's a 2-1 underdog, and I'm gonna go ahead and put money on her. And good thing I did, because she went out there and she real slick, man, real slick. The way she brought up her foot looked like it was gonna go to the inside leg kick, which Wei Lee caught it, but then didn't realize that it was a setup to go to the face. And man, holy crap, that was. I didn't think after her fighting JJ, I didn't think any woman at 115 would be able to put her out, and I was proven wrong that night. Yeah. And then also with the main event, oh my goodness, I bet on the under on 4.5, and the reason why I did that is because I thought Kamaru Usman was either gonna submit Masvidal, or Masvidal was gonna be the one knocking out Usman. And boy, man, Yeah, good thing I bet on the under.
Was a brutal knockout. Needless to say, UFC 261 is one of the best cards that we've seen in a very, very long time. It really was top to bottom. Where did you watch it? Did you stay at home, or did you get together with friends?
No, we were together with some friends at their house, and man, like uh they had the perfect setup. We're out in the backyard. They got the outside TVs and everything. So I was like, all right, this is cool. Sit there and just watch it. And like, yeah, we're jumping up for joy every single time something happened, and like, we're going nuts. And like, I like the setup that they have. So I'm always like, hey, like I'm offering, hey, you want to watch the fights at your house? So uh, yeah, you know, that's one thing we've been doing a lot is that anytime there's fights on, uh, especially during the whole pandemic and everything, like we would usually go out to a sports bar to watch it, but now it's just been more at his house and just having fun watching in his backyard. So that's our go-to place now. So have fun.
There you go. Well, that's the way to do it. Shout out to your friend with the good setup. I like it. Let's talk about this matchup with Randy Costa, man. He's 6-1. You've had a lot more professional fights than him, so you're the veteran here going into this matchup. How do you like it stylistically? You guys are built a little bit differently. Do you feel like he's going to bring anything to the table that you haven't seen before?
I would probably say the aggressiveness is probably a little bit something that I haven't seen too much of, but it works straight into my style. It's straight into what I like to do. There's like I thought like Gustavo's gonna come out really aggressive, but it's all different whenever you step in there. It's really really different. So I just can't wait to step in there. Uh, being like I know everybody's like, man, he's a little bit taller. He's a little bit taller. He's five, like I think 5'9", 5'10". He has just like a 2-inch reach advantage over me. But to me, like that doesn't matter to me because I've continually like especially like in LFA, I fought Domingo Pilarte who was like 6 foot. And then I fought another guy who was 5'10". Then I fought another guy who was 5'11". So I fought tall people like almost my whole career. Like I've I've always like, and then also too, most of my training partners that I train with are taller than me. So like I got really good amount of like really good differential styles to who I train with. So to me, it's no different. To me, it's no different. But man, he does have the power. He does have he he has power in his hands. He can definitely crack. But also I do too. And just kind of looking at his fights, he does get a little bit wild at times. Uh, I don't see him really being reserved, but to me, like the style matchup is perfect because if I go into the middle, he's gonna meet me there at 100%. So to me, that's the best thing about this fight. He's gonna meet in the middle, and when we do, man, I plan on being the one that's staying standing. So it's gonna be nothing but fun for me, and it's gonna be fun for the fans to watch because if he can take a shot, then it's gonna be a 3-round war.
Well, what do you think of his chin? That was going to be my next question.
Man, he honestly like in the UFC, I don't think he's really been hit by too many people. Faced Jeremy and Journey. So that one wasn't that long of a fight. Kind of just threw that launched that head kick and knocked him out. Against Boston, I didn't really see him get tagged too much. I think he overwhelmed that dude Boston pretty handily. And then Brandon Davis was pretty much like his toughest fight. But also I don't put too much weight behind it because I think he took that fight on short notice. So if it me looking at it, I'm just like, all right, cool. Like his chin, if it needs to be tested, it's a perfect test for me to put it out there because hey, uh, it's like if I hit him and he doesn't drop, then I just know it's like, all right, cool. The game plan just only changes a little bit. It's only going to change a little bit, and it's just going to be instead of throwing more power shots, it's going to be volume to land, and set up the harder power shots. So it only changes a little bit, but after that, to me, it's all going to be the same because we're going to go in there and try to knock each other out anyways.
Two-part question. Has he fought anybody as good as you at this point in his career? And have you fought anybody better than him so far?
Man, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. I would like to say that I have already fought some of the better competition, but he also fought Brandon Davis, and Brandon Davis was pretty legit. I know he kind of had like a little rough, and he had a little skid, and he's not in the UFC anymore. But that guy, and whenever he was in the UFC, he made noise. Uh, Journey, I know he knocked out Domingo Pilarte, uh, who I fought, and then also he fought Boston Salmon, and I don't really know how good that I personally like. I don't really know how good he was. I just know he beat somebody who was on the Houston regional scene, who I was supposed to fight at one time, but the fight card got canceled due to COVID. But he beat up Ricky Tercios. But uh, I don't like. We can go back and see that. I don't know how you don't know how really good he is, how good he really is, especially because he just walks in there, he starts Journey, and then he goes out there and he starts his Boston, and he had a short notice fight with Baron Davis, so you really don't know how good he is. With me, you can probably see that how good I am, just based off of how I fought. Because I fought a 10-1 guy in Brady Wong, and then the next guy, short notice. I did what I did what I had to do against him, and then I fought Gustavo Lopez, who fought a top 15 guy in Marab. Completely different styles, but he goes out there, he goes 3 rounds with them. He gets finished in the third. So honestly, it's kind of one of those things that you really don't know how good either of us are yet at this moment. Or you can probably say, like, if we're going against resume, I probably fought the better guys, because I fought Domingo Pilarte before he got into the UFC. I fought Miles Johnson before he got into the UFC. I know he's only 6-1, so like the last 3 guys are the best guys he's ever fought. But I've been fighting the best guys like outside the regional scene, and going into the UFC, I fought every guy who they put in front of me.
What's your official prediction?
Man, official prediction, 2nd round knockout, but at the same time, it's gonna be a 3-round war if he can take the shot. That's what I'm banking on, is a 3-round war, and that's what I'm getting ready for. And that's exactly what, like, I'm still in shape. Like, I'm still trying, like, keeping my shape, trying to push myself a little bit more, because in 3 rounds, man, there's gonna be some hard shots landed, and I'm gonna land a lot of hard shots, man. So I got to be able to keep that pace up.
You guys gonna get together after and have a Dr. Pepper and Reese's together?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, absolutely. As much as I want to sit there and like trash Reese's, just for the snack beef, it's terrible. But I kind of put up a funny tweet saying I threw all the Reese's out on all the Easter egg Reese's out, but honestly, I didn't do it. I ate some, but I'm gonna say I did. I'm gonna say I threw it out. But yeah, I don't know. Like Julian Marquez said that Dr. Pepper is a dumpster juice, or like dumpster juice or cockroach juice or something like that. Now we have to fight. Me and Julian have to fight, but nah, he's a cool guy. Randy's a cool guy, so I wouldn't mind having a drink. I wouldn't mind having a drink with him. Share Dr. Pepper with a guy, But I am gonna bring my own chocolate and peanut butter just to show him, hey, dude, I'm telling you, you can make your own and it'd be better than this Reese's.
All right, man. Well, July the 24th, it all goes down. Adrian Yanez, Randy Costa. I can't wait. Adrian, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Before I let you go, tell people where to follow you on social media, and if you have anything you want to thank, the floor is yours.
Oh man, y'all can follow me at Yanez MMA on Twitter. On Facebook, you can follow my fight page, Adrian Yanez MMA, or also you can friend request me. I still haven't hit 5,000 friends yet, so go ahead, request away. Instagram, Adrian Yanez 93. Find me there. And I also have, if you want to show support, I have a website, yanezmma.com, and y'all can buy either a hat or a shirt. Gonna add a little bit of stuff here and there. I still got some work to do on the website to make it more personable. But also, I got to give a big shout out to my coach, Sauce Elise, my management team, Meridian Sports Agency, Jason House, and those guys. They treat me very well. Thank you to yourself, man, for giving me this platform to for the interview. And thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me on.